And we are live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Journey into Freedom with me, your host, Red Gypsy. Our co-host, Scarlet Anonymous, is with us on time tonight.
Well, I have a job, so sorry.
It wasn't that way.
I mean,
I have a job.
I'm just saying. I'm usually just not here because of my job.
Well, I know, but we always talk about that you're at
Oh,
the
it's
farm.
Preparing. Hold on. I don't know if we're live yet. No, we're live on Spreaker to everybody, but it says live preparing. Now, let me go really check the internet connection really quick. Because I've never seen it do this. I will be back.
She will be back.
But you're live on Spreaker, so continue.
Okay, we're at least live on speaker right now. I don't want to fly. Well, I do fly. That's Colorado Life with Red. But, yes, they help us stuff on social media. Hi, BJ, can you hear me? Hi, Mel. Hi, Ron. Hi, Pam. Hi, Kev. Hi, Barb. I used to do the chicken dance on roller skates when I was a kid. That was a thing. And the hokey pokey on skates. That was also a thing back in the day, Barb. The chicken dance on roller skates was hilarious, Ron. It was fun times, too, I'm not going to lie. As a kid, it was good times. Well, Kev, I'm older now, and I seem to have a problem, chewing gum and walking at the same time now at my older age.
Maybe that's something.
You know what, McAllery? Nobody's talking to you.
Just saying it's not you.
I'm just saying nobody's on my show to listen to you. You're my husband, and I give you your opinion, so silence.
Yeah, look here, Peanut Gallery. We have no contract with you. We have no contract with you, Peanut Gallery. Look here.
Right, we have no contract with you. You have no power here.
Be gone! Be gone!
But unusually, I am actually very, very happy because I just came off a mountain on February 1st.
Oh, listen to him. It's February 2nd.
Firework.
You are a day behind.
Well, whatever.
And
it's
you should get your date correct because we're live. It is February 2nd, 2020.
It is Palindrome Day. The last time it'll be a palindrome.
Day.
Yes. There won't be another.
Say it backwards as it is forwards.
Yes. The last time.
2020.
Yes.
There weren't enough years between the first and the second.
Oh my gosh, now we're going to hear about his stupid beers.
Lord. So the last time this happened was 11/11, 1011. 1111. And the next time we'll hear this is, I believe, something.
Are we live?
What?
Are we live?
No, it still says preparing. Hold on.
What?
So I can not get in trouble?
No, we're live on speaker.
We're live on Spreaker, yeah, but...
No.
Says
We've been live the whole time, Mr. Chatty Chatterson.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me figure this out. Let me try to stop and restart it and see if that won't do it.
Oh.
Okay, if that makes sense. Because it should just go. Okay, let's see what we got here. I might have to close some tabs. Unable to live stream. Okay. Prepare to live stream the meeting. Okay. It's telling me things.
It's telling you all sorts of things.
It is, but it's not telling me what I want to see. Unfortunately. This is a new one. I've never seen this before. So, we're just gonna keep trying to figure it out. This is live preparing, but why isn't it going live? Huh. I have no answers for this.
Scouts to find her.
This is Zoom. Okay, unable, update. Okay. Let's try that again. I'm gonna redo this and see if we can't get it. Okay. Copy. Okay. Now let's see if this doesn't do it.
It says live on custom live streams.
Okay, and does it now say that?
It says that on my end.
Yes, good, perfect. Because it didn't say that before, it said live preparing. So now we are live with Journey into Freedom.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to Journey into Freedom with me, your host, Red Gypsy. Our co-host, Scarlet Anonymous, is with us. She's who's on camera. I'm not on camera tonight. I might go on in a little bit, but I just got my hair done. I just made a whole bunch of stuff, and I got to do the weekly guidance and the moon news. I'm surrounded by all my notebooks and everything, and I just, crazy. And it takes a whole lot to set up to do live. I have to, like, hang stuff from the ceiling and lighting, and it's nuts.
Right. So, before we really get into some things tonight, I would like to talk about Patriot Pantry, though. Hold on. Wait. No. We have a new sponsor, Patriot Pantry, okay? And Freedom Revolution now is partnered up with Patriot Pantry. This is one of their fabulous orange energy drink mix packages right here. Makes up to 8 full cup servings. All right. You can find this link next to our video on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com, where you can find discounts and the deal of the day. So this is our new sponsor, Patriot Pantry. Good stuff, good quality stuff, 25-year shelf life. Get your stuff now. And they said, they put out a warning yesterday that because of the coronavirus, they're seeing an uptick in orders. So if you were thinking about ordering, you haven't ordered before, this may be the time for you to order Patriot Pantry foods. Or Ready Hour is the same brand naming, but they're just kind of doing a few different lines. So make sure to check that out. Patriot Pantry. Thank you. You may continue now, Red.
Hi, BJ. Hi, Mel. Hi, Barb. Hi, Ron.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Pam.
I'm going to open up the chat myself here in a second, if I can function here.
Hi, guys. We have a great show tonight on Journey into Freedom. We have some explosive moon news to go over. We have weekly guidance to do. I have some scripture to give out tonight that I came across again in my Esdras, actually. So we'll be discussing about that. We are going to be talking about, again, still doing, folk versus fake. And tonight we're going to be talking about the laying on of hands. We'll probably, most definitely, be talking about the coronavirus. We are definitely going to be talking about the Valley Fire Cider that I've just made and the Elder Valley syrup I just made.
Yes, You took my suggestion. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And just a whole lot. So, we all love journeys, and this show is about journeying into all of the freedoms, finding freedom through self, through spirituality, through every level of being, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of them, to find your true freedom. And this is a show hopefully to help others build a relationship with the Creator, and for everyone to feel like they're safe here. Religion isn't really a thing here. Spirituality really is. We don't down anybody and their belief. We kind of believe that God is like a huge diamond, and no matter which name you call him from, at the heart we're still talking about the same thing, so there's no need to argue about that.
Right.
We're all going to Rome. We just got to pick which path we're taking, and we all don't have to be on the same path. It's okay to be different. God created us that way.
True, Red. That is very true. And we've always been accepting of different peoples and styles and beliefs and ideas, because when you're open-minded, it allows you a better view of the world.
And if anybody is wrong in their beliefs and they listen to us and they hear truth in what we say and we plant a seed, then the Lord will do the work, and that's all that's of matter. It's not for me to judge if they're wrong or right. That's my Creator's job.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just here to do his light work.
Right. We're just here to spread messages and share love and interact with one another. And hopefully we can help other people doing that and find our own path and way. You know, because that's really what it's about. Is, you know, nobody gets a manual when we come here about what you should be doing, how to do it. You know, we get guidelines, and we have to find our own path through that, how we want to lay that out, what does that look like for us. And so
right.
And how do we come to, happy mediums. And so I think that's what we've done a lot of on this show, especially in the early years that we did this together, was, it was just us kind of finding where was our balance, where did we find things where we could come together, where do we differ. Sometimes we do. It may seem like we're in sync a lot of times, but sometimes we may have differing opinions. And that's okay for other people to have differing opinions too. It's once you push your ideas on another person and tell them this is the only way to think, is where I think you start to have issues and problems, and, the ideas and freedom starts disseminating.
Yes, absolutely. And for those of you that are new with us on GIF, because I know we have a lot of new listeners, and so for those that are new with us, I, Red Gypsy, and Scarlet actually is too, we are both ministers.
That is true.
And, so we do a little bit of scripture talk.
We do.
It's not always directly from the Bible. We do a lot of ancient, old text, things that are removed. We try to stick with the knowledge of, if we can find it 3 times,
yep,
similar, almost repetitive, there's truth there. So that's a belief for us.
Yeah, it's our formula for fake news, as we call it.
Right, exactly. And we go with that, not just with our spiritual findings, but with everything that we report on, everything that we research. It doesn't, just because here they called him God and over here they called him Zeus, doesn't mean that they were actually worshiping anything different at that time. Yes, Barb, everyone has the right to believe what they want. That's right, Barb. And we do work that way. So that's what we kind of focus on. And then I am also personally, Red Gypsy, I am a registered holistic lifetime lifetime registered holistic practitioner and a lifetime metaphysician registered with World Metaphysical Association, as well as United Holistic Healers. So I also have certifications in acupressure, sound therapy, hypnotherapy.
We've done some interesting stuff with hypnosis in the past. Only a couple times, though. We haven't touched on that very much.
We did a whole bunch of shows on the hypnosis when I first started.
We did. We did that hypnosis series, and we did do that. But we haven't touched on that very much. But it is something that you do.
Right. I have so many certifications, guys.
Yeah, I've seen them all, too. There's a whole bunch. I've seen them.
I have a whole wall.
Mm-hmm. If you could put them, I don't even think they would fit in your place, though. There's too many.
Won't.
I mean, if you had, like, a large room that you could, like, display them with.
One day, when my gypsy wagon is done and I get to travel around and just offer my works for trade and donation on the mobile, I will be able to hang them around. That will happen one day. But it is not now. I am a Reiki master in a traditional Usui Reiki, as well as Kundalini Reiki, which also gives me boosters in a master's in crystalline Reiki, DNA Reiki, birth trauma Reiki. What else? Ascension Reiki, Violet Flame Reiki. Plant Reiki, which is my own Reiki that I have branched myself.
Yeah. That was interesting. Hello, Dwayne. It sucks. I'm sorry. I hope we can make your ride a little better for the next couple hours.
So I do all of my services and everything are by trade and donation only.
Yes.
So anybody can. Oh, I also do emotion code healing. That is an important one that I often forget to tell people. Yep. I do emotion code healing. I also do Limpia.
You do egg healing, yeah.
I can't do, unfortunately, long distance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that one just, you could maybe teach people how to do it for themselves, but it seems to be one that you have to be within the energy field of it to make it work, if that makes sense.
Right.
Good night, Mel. Yes, we will see you tomorrow morning for the original Red Pill show with Mel and Tim. So check that out at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, only on Freedom Revolution Network.
So, I'm also in school still currently for my herbologist certification, but you don't need the certification. I just am doing it so that I have it, and I do actually have schooling behind me with it, but I do already consider myself an herbologist. In doing all of my research and the things that we've been doing for the last 4 episodes now on this show, I have swallowed down what I have proverbially kept in the bag, which is I am a folk healer, guys. It's what I do. It's what God has led me to do.
Yep. It honestly led me, natural healing led me down the road to radio, and then eventually led me down the road to you. So I definitely feel like right place, right time, and a lot of people are clicking into the natural health world for a reason.
Right. And you know, for anybody who's missed any past episodes, we went through a good one just last episode. Folk versus fake. And ways that you can tell the difference. So if you didn't catch that, I suggest that you go back and catch it, because we had some good tips in there for you. So let's get on. Let's do weekly guidance, because
this is a great part.
Never do this
No.
stuff anymore.
No, I'm never here for this. This is my favorite part of Red's show, y'all. Like, besides when Red does like readings and stuff, this is like my favorite part of the show.
Oh,
and
yes.
Moon News.
I
Moon News.
I always fail to mention this. I am a certified pendulum dowser.
Yep.
I am also a I am an oracle. I read oracle cards.
Mm-hmm.
From the Ascended Masters is what I use specifically. Jesus is in here amongst a lot of other names that you may or may not find familiar. What comes up in my weekly guidance is whichever Ascended Master wants to speak out, give a message for the week, what we should be focusing on maybe for the week usually is what they kind of tell us, kind of give us just that guideline, you know, show us what they're supporting this week for us. Just in general as a whole, as, you know, universal. Yes, BJ, I absolutely do the healings and the readings long distance, and all of my services are always only by trade and donation.
Yes, you will be able to watch this tomorrow. The replay will be on the FRN YouTube, as well as you should be able to catch it on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, DLive, Periscope, the platform of your choosing, or directly here on FRN. So yes, Barb,
Yes,
you could totally see us.
And we do have a herb chat coming up as well. So don't miss out on that. Now, our weekly guidance for this week. I am shuffling. Ooh. Interesting.
What fell out? I know it.
Well,
I feel it.
if we
I feel it. Oh, see, look,
never
y'all, I was
get
right. I was, look.
this ever.
I know. That's why I was like, what just fell out?
You knew it, because I was like, ooh, you know me.
I know your sounds. I know what's going on. I'm like, ooh, cards just fell out of the deck, y'all. That's how well I know Red after all these years of us doing this together, so.
Yes. And you haven't even been here for a while. But I haven't had anything fall out in a really long
Not since that one caller, but she only had one card fall out like a month or so ago. Maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah. So our first Ascended Master
Is.
is Lady Nadia. She works with Saint Germain and the Archangel Michael to help bring about balance of male and female energies within the world. This is actually really good for us right now, especially once you hear Moon News. This is going to make way more sense to y'all. Her name signifies the beautiful sound of void of silence, where peace is found. Now, we call on her to find peace with both females and males in our life, to harmonize and balance that masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. Her card actually is mother, wife, sister, or daughter. So whichever one that just popped into your head first, that's the one. The issue that you're asking about that involved that significant woman that popped in your head when I said mother, wife, sister, daughter. Night, Barb. God bless.
Night, Barb.
That's the one. So, any unhealed feelings that you carry towards this person. They're blocking and they're slowing your own manifestation of your own dreams, and they're leading to your imbalance. Okay? Now, this is the perfect time to call on God, as well as your guides, as well as your angels, to help release toxins that are associated with your past, as well as present female relationships. This process is going to open the way for a healthy relationship with women, including your very own feminine energy. Now, that balance of the female and male energy is practiced by giving and receiving daily. Of course it relates to you, Dwayne. This is the weekly guidance.
This is supposed to help guide you. Where you been?
Imagine if I was giving you a one-on-one reading.
Right.
Which I do.
Yeah.
You think this is on target? You have no idea until you said, hey, Red, do one for me personal.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You know what? That is true. And the mini readings that you do give people do get a lot of insight on those. And the readings I've been doing, because I've been doing a lot of energy readings with people, in their oracles, but energy oracles, and they've been dead on lately.
Now, you have to be willing to forgive this woman who seems to have hurt you, because it's time.
Ooh, yeah, this is about Dwayne. Sorry, Dwayne.
A female, possibly recently or long ago even deceased, is saying, I love you from heaven. And a new relationship with a woman is going to prove to be very significant.
Ooh. Interesting.
Now, the next one that came out is El Morya. Now, he was a member of the royal family of Kashmir in the 1800s. He had a political focus, and that was on making human and fair changes to laws. We call on El Morya to help keep energy clear, high, and protected, as well as to assist within any legal or political situations. You're here, Dwayne, because you're supposed to be hearing these messages. Now,
right.
His card is clear and shield your energy. Now, what he's saying is, as a sensitive person, a lot of you out there are absorbing some very harsh and toxic energy from other people around you right now. So you need to stop. You need to call on El Morya as well as the Archangel Michael and help clear yourself. You need to clear and you need to elevate your energies in other people, your home, your office, your vehicle, everywhere. After this, you need to shield yourself from further intrusions. Shielding needs to be conducted once to twice a day. Where crystal pendants do buffers, they do help buffer in harsh energy situations, prayer, meditation.
That's personally why I wear this obsidian, that people can see.
Right. Right.
For protection.
Right.
Help absorbs attacks and things of that nature.
You need to ask the Archangel Michael to do to cut cords of fearful attachment between you and other people and or possessions. I do cord cutting, guys. I do have that service as well as past life.
Yeah.
Honor your sensitivities. You need to stay clear of all harsh and toxic substances, environments, and relationships right now. And you need to keep your thoughts as positive as possible. And remember that clear energy is clean energy, which draws in the same. You need to eliminate clutter and maybe use some feng shui to clear the energy in your home and office.
Right. I think people don't think about just simple things that can help clear the energy, right? You know,
Yeah.
the Lord gives you the strength, but you have to go forward and use that strength to keep yourself protected, right? So,
Right. And the third card that dropped actually is the Green Man.
oh, and I have a great write-up that I'm going to put on that I got from a friend, and that's going to get full credit. But they wrote up a whole write-up about Christ and crystals and, you know, where they're found in the Bible. And, you know, a lot of people have called them New Age and they're not of Christ. But there is a very compelling write-up that I will be putting on the website that everybody can read and then come to their own conclusion. But I think it's a very nice complement to why crystals and things are very important.
He's got everybody's back, though. Just
He does. As long as you believe, all you have to do is believe, right?
So we know Green Man from Western Europe and India. He's long regarded as the face of nature and fertility deity, and he helps the crops to grow. So we call on him to help our own gardens and to increase our connection to the spirit of nature. Now, his card is Retreat into Nature. That message is that we've all been indoors too long and we need a refreshing break from stressful conditions. Boy, listen, we all got cabin fever from the winter. You know we ain't lying.
True.
So, no matter how busy you are, there's time to pause for that fresh air. So, this is telling you it's a very strong message for you to spend some time alone outside. Okay? You need that healing effect of nature to revive your energy and your outlook on your everyday life so that you can return home and to work with new ideas and fresh perspectives. You need to think of a nature retreat as an investment that will yield you huge dividends within yourself. Your desires or decisions need to take a vacation or to take a vacation are valid. Work with some pure flowers, essentials, crystals, plant medicines, spirit medicines, natural healing methods. And don't forget to commune with animals, trees, fairies, and other spirits of nature. So that is our weekly guidance. Normally it's not that large.
No, that was actually a really long one, but with moon news, okay, I could see this complementing that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, let's just go ahead and do moon news.
Yeah, we need to just, yes. Okay, now, one thing that I'd like to just, you know, because there's new listeners here, you know, we came from freedomizerradio.com, okay, and we've been doing moon news for a very long time, okay. Red has been doing this is one of her specialties. I enjoy it very much as a listener. The one thing I can say is moon news usually, almost always, sounds more like weekly guidance, right? But just kind of a longer, in-depth version based on planetary alignment. This moon news... Oh, go ahead, Red.
And the full moon.
And the full moon.
Planetary alignments and the full moon.
Right. As per why moon news.
And star alignment.
Right, which is why, you know, planetary star, you know, astrological alignments, you know, all that good fun stuff.
Right.
This moon news is very different than any other moon news that we have had. And I'm sure my face shows how I feel about this. It's very concerning. Okay?
Yes.
Concerning. Okay, and if people watch, I know a lot of you watch Marv. Okay, and he was just talking about what concerning means. Okay, that's our new word we're going to use. I've always used that, but I just like to emphasize concerning. So continue, Red.
So, moon news for February 9th, the full moon, will be February 9th of 2020. It will be the full snow moon. We call it this due to the heavy snowfall of the month. We also call it the shoulder to shoulder around the fire moon, no snow in the trails moon, and the bone moon. Now this full snow moon is going to be in Leo, and this is going to bring formidable commanders to the front in times of war. Ron, you get with me later. Scarlett, you make sure Ron knows how to get a hold of me later.
Okay, I will. Yeah, because Ron.
We don't want to put all that out there live on air, Ron.
Ron's put a lot out himself already, so this isn't anything that his listeners aren't aware of. But Red has some expertise in that she can help you with privately, Ron, that I'll get her hooked up with you.
And I can absolutely do a private reading for you on this.
Yes. Marv is addicting, okay? It is. I like Adam, okay? Just like I like Dutch. See my Dutch shirt, everybody? This is one of my favorite shirts, the Pressure Transfer Map tee. It's one of my favorite shirts. It does get addicting. I enjoy these people just as much. They have good information.
Ron, you make sure that you get with me. We will do a private reading, and I will give you some advice.
Yeah, so we love Marv. So back to moon news, okay? We want to get because
now we're gonna go back. I'm gonna repeat that.
Yes, because the
full snow moon is going to rise in Leo. This is going to bring formidable commanders to the front in times of war. This will bring life or death decisions that need to be made quickly. It will add a slight, I do mean slight, nurturing to the commanders in general, but tough love will begin and will continue through this moon cycle. All the leaders and that means nations, worlds, families, companies, all the leaders, okay, will have to risk short-term bad economic conditions that do not allow for luxuries.
Does that sound familiar to anyone right now?
Or otherwise unpopular decisions for the sake of long-term overall prosperity. No one is working for Willy Wonka for the sake of popularity this moon cycle. There is going to be absolutely no sugarcoating for these awful pills they are about to make us take. Yes, BJ, commanders, generals, presidents, etc.
Right.
Now, Leos are very ego-driven. This is going to reflect outward as well. However, this should cause the wanting to help of others more than themselves. However, it's also going to depend on the ascension of self. The energy going around this moon cycle is easily to be used and corrupted into ruthless, tyrannically driven tendencies. This Leo full snow moon gives courage to the heads of nations, companies, families to become not just leaders, but trailblazers to do whatever it takes to protect those in their care. The roaring lioness protecting her cub is the symbol used for this full snow moon. The heart of this full snow moon really comes down at the most boring of levels in the alignments of the planets. The great patriots willing to die for their countries. Keep these types of people as friends during this moon cycle. Remember, Leos are fiercely loyal. And during this full moon cycle, loyalty is no longer an option. It is going to be flat out demanded. Anyone found betraying anyone at this time will be held to the highest punishments. Examples will be set, and punishments shall be quick and without explanation.
And this is coming more into play because you wrote this over a week ago, okay? And at that time we were like, whoa, because it's the craziest moon news I've ever heard. But now with the events of this last week, it's so much more into perspective, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Continue.
Right. Now, do not seek revenge at this time during this moon cycle, or you too will suffer horribly. This will be a cycle of the moon that no one will care who they bring down with them. This is definitely a full moon to lie low and protect yourself. Now, the strengths of the Leo are going to also shine through, such as creativity, passion, generosity, humor, and warm-heartedness. This is where all that slight nurturing with the leaders in general of nations, companies, and families. But that Leo oppositional traits are going to be there more. And that's the arrogant stubbornness of their self-centered, inflexible laziness. This part's equaling the tough love. So, remember also that Leos do not like to be ignored, and they will not allot for it. They also do not like facing difficult situations. So, when they must, they are ruthless. They also do not like it when they are not the center stage. They need to be king or queen of the ones around them within reason, and this, of course, is going to be amplified during this full moon to all the Leos that are out there, but it's also going to be there for all of us non-Leos. Yes, BJ.
Musharraf is a Leo. I didn't know that. Trump has a Leo moon. And
Trump
they say he's
rising.
coming back to his stellium right now, which is interesting for this version of moon news. So for those who are into planetary alignments and all that. Oh, Clinton's a Leo also. Interesting. So that's just something that we found as an interesting side note for those who are into a little of astrology, that, Trump has a Leo rising moon. He's coming back to his stellium for the first time in 18 years. Very interesting.
You can look it up, Kev.
Yeah, you just go by their birth date, and then from there you would know what astrology sign they would be. You could just even Google, like, Musharraf's, astrological sign.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Now, Leos are also known for their dominance, and this is about to show very strongly with this full moon in Leo. Right, BJ, and rising is the career path. You nailed it.
Yep.
Now, someone's up on their.
I appreciate
stuff.
this. Yeah, this added nice, to the conversation. It's good stuff.
Especially with the alignment of the stars and the planets. Leos are natural born leaders, and they know it. So taking charge is normal for them. The Leo is capable of uniting many different groups of people and leading them to a shared causes. This is going to be extremely strong during this full moon cycle, leading to a ton of drastic decisions for long-term results. This will be a very purging moon, so be ready. Leos are very sharp, and they use their minds to solve even the most difficult of issues. They will take initiative to resolve even the most complicated of situations. We will be witnessing some pretty crazy things from our nation's leaders this moon cycle. The fearlessness of this sign will be rampant along with their bravery. This moon will amp up the energy of the Leo to all Leos as well as not. The lion is impossible to challenge, hurt, or destroy in their minds. They do tend to show fear and aggression towards those they confront. They hold their heads high. They will always face others with dignity and respect. They rarely raise their voice, hand, or weapon while walking through the jungle they rule, so don't make them have to. So when they're forced, their judgment and their fierceness are intense like the lion. So, buckle up, Starbucks. It's about to go off. This, by far, with all set current world events, is the worst moon news I've ever had to report. This shit is showing we are about to be in a bad place for a minute. We all may be in some peril with some awful things happening. Keep low, keep listening, get ready, because for the first time ever, unfortunately, Red's full moon news says the shit is about to hit the fan.
Yep. And that's not something we say lightly, because we've never had to. You can go back and listen to all the years of shows we've done. And
4 years.
Yeah. We've never had to, come out with news of this nature. So we don't say it with easy, minds.
Right.
So I'm just very concerned, because we've already seen leaders making moves that are unprecedented. We've already seen things that we've never seen before. For the first time in 50 years, we have quarantine sites set up. Pakistan and India can potentially have a clash. They fight a lot. I watch a lot of Indian news. It's very entertaining. They yell at each other. They call each other names. India and Pakistan could pop off very easily. They're always almost on the edge of fighting on the line of control up there by the Himalayan mountains, so you have to watch that very carefully, because they're always fighting and ready to go to war and basically saying they're going to kill each other. Because they used to be Hindustan, and now, there was all that, gentrification and things that split people apart, so you never know about India. Continue, Red.
Guys, I'm going to take us to Esdras. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with Esdras, I suggest that you take a look and do some research on it. You might find that you've been missing it in your spiritual journey. And we're going to actually go to Esdras 2 to 16. And they start off with, "Woe be unto you, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto you, Egypt and Syria. Gird yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is set among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn? In stubble when it has begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sent the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quakes, and the foundations thereof. The sea rises up with waves from the deep, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consumes the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Now I'm going to stop there for just a minute. The fires in Australia, the fires in California, the earthquakes
Everywhere.
that Ron covers all day for us in great detail. The plagues that have come from China. Are we listening? Because this is prophetic now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lord speaking. There are no coincidences, Pam. And remember that they removed Esdras from the original King James Version of our Bible because they believed that it was not divinely guided enough to be included with the other books. Yes, BJ, it could. Now, woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. How do you spell what, BJ? Behold. Behold, victuals shall be so. No, this is Esdras, which, as I said, they removed from the original works of the Bible. Esdras, Esdras. They shall think themselves to be in good cause, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
You know, we're hearing of whole families being executed in China. Whole families.
BJ, it's E as in Edward, S is in Spanish, D as in Drake, R is in raccoon, A is in Aramis, and S as in social. You're welcome. The dead shall be cast out as shit, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tend them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. Yes, BJ. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms, the women shall, in the wars shall their bridegrooms they lose. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it, believe it, not the gods whom the Lord spoke. Behold, the plagues draw near and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month brings forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains her when the child comes forth. They slack not a moment.
Now remember that some people believe that this particular verse has to do with a certain constellation that came through 2 years ago, where the constellation Virgo, or the Virgin, had a child star pass through where her womb would be, and now we are going through the days of those tribulation afterwards. A lot of people believe that is the beginning of the tribulation.
Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Yes, BJ, they do. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evil be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that sells, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buys as one that will lose. He that occupies merchandise as he that has no profit by it, and he that builds as he that shall not dwell therein. He that sows as if he should not reap, so also he that plants the vineyard as he that shall not dwell therein.
Well,
yes, BJ. Good. Think of Israel as the woman along with Virgo.
Correct.
They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods.
So are we just supposed to quit our jobs, though? Because, hold on, this sounds like we all need to quit our jobs, because this just goes, we're going to get cheated. I feel like that's what they're saying.
For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children, and they that occupy their merchandise robbery. The more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said the Lord. Like as a whore, even if a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decks herself, and shall accuse her to her face when he comes that shall defend him, that diligently searches out every sin upon the earth. Therefore, be you not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Let not the sinner say that he has not sinned, for God shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which said before the Lord God and his glory, I have not sinned. It does, BJ, it does, and this is why I thought it was important to bring it up. Behold, the Lord knows all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Which spoke, but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. In his word were the stars made, and he knows the number of them. He searches the deep and the treasures thereof. He has measured the sea and what it contains. He has shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word he has hung the earth upon those waters. He spreads out the heavens like a vault upon the waters. Has he founded it? In the desert has he made springs of water and pools upon tops of mountains, that the floods might pour down from the high rocks to the water, the earth. He made man, and he put heart in the midst of the body, and gave him breath, life, and understanding. Yea, and the Spirit of the Almighty God, which made all things and searches out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he knows your inventions and what you think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore has the Lord exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, you shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day. What will you do? Or how will you hide your sins before God and his angels? Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in diversion and reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear you, my beloved, says the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide, and the guide of them who keeps his commandments and perceives, says the Lord. God, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed, and is cast into the fire. to be consumed therein. I thought that was some important reading that needed to take place tonight with everything that is going on with the plagues from China,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
the fires in Australia, Canada, or not Canada, California, the earthquakes that are increasing, the volcanoes about to go off, which I also think is going to lead into that fire that they're talking about, which we've discussed in the past on previous shows.
Right.
BJ, I so appreciate all of your input during all of this.
Yep.
And you're absolutely right. They were very good at banning books that would take faith from them and give it to God. You're absolutely right. Because if this does not prophesize what is going on right now, then let the Lord burn coals on my head. Because I'm pretty sure I had no intention, actually, this evening of reading anything out of the scriptures tonight. And I do tend to go to these when I do scriptures, BJ. And when I opened my old notebook to pull up old information for you guys, boom, it popped up because a little thing that you don't know, BJ, is when I did all of the Apocrypha, I literally hand wrote it from the Hebrew and translating it into Google to make sure that I got as close of a translation as I could.
We learned, especially with having Gary Wayne on, we learned that the translations mean everything. Translations almost mean more than sometimes what we have printed. And so going back through the translations are important. It gives you a different perspective of what some of these words could mean.
So yes, and it popped right up, and it was just right there, and it was like, boom, baby. And I had some particular parts highlighted about plagues, and I went, okay, Lord, I now know that it's time to release this message. Another thing that I fought it for a long time. You can ask Scarlett. I have fought. I not call myself this, but I've had to swallow my pride and accept the fact that I am a prophet. The Lord has led me to these messages to bring to you at the right times, and He has done it on purpose. I have been led this through Scripture that I have uncovered and found in the Apocrypha.
We both
in the other scriptures that I have read. We are all prophetic within our own ways. Some of us are louder than others. I have been given the platform to say that I am to do this, and it can mean so many things. What I say isn't always from me. It's what is given to me and the interpretation that is given upon it to me to express onto you. And it's not always the prettiest of things, but these are the messages. And the Lord says that His truth will come forth from His messengers and His prophets. His prophets are His messengers. He says that we are.
And we've brought this up before. Why are prophets something that we've only thought about 200 years ago? There would be people who are prophetic all among us.
He says that there will come this time where the prophets that we have been grown to accept, such as the priests and all of these people out there in the churches, we're going to learn that they were false prophets and they were leading us in the wrong direction. They were leading you away from the people like me and Scarlett.
Well, yeah, because let's just think about even the Catholic Church, how much has just been uncovered through sexual abuse. That alone.
Correct.
That alone leads people away. This is why people are so jaded.
To be released until it's their time.
Yep.
And I felt that the Lord guided me to that because right now it's that time. It's that message, it's time.
Well, and we brought the message before, and it did mean something, but now within the context of all the chaos, I think it brings a new perspective. It brings more light on what can happen if we don't keep things in check. And I think at this point we all can agree, things haven't been in check. It's been very chaotic. It's been very disorganized, dystopian. We're living like almost in the Twilight Zone daily at this point. It's real truth. I mean, who would have thought a week ago that we would have quarantine camps set up in the United States of America? We're sitting with 4 quarantine camps set up. Department of Defense bases, which means that's a whole another level of jurisdiction.
We are having a huge plague of locusts right now in Africa.
Yeah, I have an article about that I was going to share with you people. So, with that being said, might as well go into that. Alright, we're going to share the screen on that.
We are having a huge plague of locusts right now.
So, spray planes combat the huge locust outbreak in East Africa. Okay. And so they say the Nesulu Conservancy, Kenya, as locusts by the billions, yes, billions, descend on parts of Kenya in the worst outbreak in 70 years. Small planes are flying over affected areas to spray pesticides in what experts call the only effective control. It is challenging work, especially in remote areas where mobile phone signals are absent and ground crews cannot quickly communicate coordinates to flight teams. Ground crews are in the most woeful terrains. Marcus Dunn, a pilot and director at Farmland Aviation, said Saturday, "If there's no network, then the fellow on a boda motorcycle has to rush off now and go get a network." Just 5 planes are currently spraying as Kenyan and other authorities stop the locust from spreading to neighboring Uganda and South Sudan. The United Nations has said $76 million is needed immediately to widen such efforts across East Africa. A fast response is crucial. Experts warn if left unchecked, the number of locusts could grow by 500 times by June, when drier weather will help bring the outbreak under control. Finger-length locusts swept into Kenya from Somalia and Ethiopia after unusually heavy rains in recent months, decimating crops in some areas, threatening millions of vulnerable people with a hunger crisis. Somalia's Agriculture Ministry on Sunday called the outbreak a national emergency and a major threat to the country's fragile food security, saying the uncommonly large locust swarms are consuming huge amounts of crops. In swarms the size of major cities, the locusts have affected parts of Sudan, Djibouti, and Eritrea, whose Agriculture Ministry says both the military and general public have been deployed to combat them. Kenya's Agriculture Minister has acknowledged that authorities weren't prepared. Hold on. I lost it. Oh, okay. Can we stop? Okay, thank you. For the scope of the infestation this year. Oh, come on. Can we not? This is not surprising, considering that it's been decades since the country's last comparable outbreak, UN officials say. The locusts are also heading towards the breadbasket of Ethiopia, the Africa's second most populous country, and that nation's worst outbreak in 25 years. On Thursday, startled residents of Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, started reporting sights of the insects. "I was surprised to find the locusts inside my living room," said one resident, Mathos Gurma, showing a photo on his mobile phone. "It appears it is knocking on each and every one of our doors." Zebuedo Salato, an agriculture ministry official, told the Associated Press that relatively few locusts reaching Ethiopia's capital are leftovers from the massive invasion in eastern and south parts of the country. Spraying is being conducted around the city to stop the outbreak from spreading elsewhere, he said. Until drier weather in June, more rain across the region will bring fresh vegetation. Okay, come on. To fuel further waves of locust breeding. One field in Kenya on Saturday appeared to be full of mating bright yellow locusts. "They're trying to mate and reproduce, so we need more help because we're racing against time," said Salat Tutana, the chief agriculture officer in Isalo County. So far, we've decimated around 5 swarms in Samburu and Izaolo counties, but we keep receiving more swarms every week, and that's a lot in the terms of the ecosystem, he said. They are destroying the environment. Within hours, the locust can strip a pasture of much of its vegetation, and that's a very sad situation, especially for the pastoralists whose livelihoods rely on their cattle. Just hours after spraying, the normally bouncing locusts were dozy, slow, and dying. They lay scattered on the ground, crunching underfoot. The 5 planes currently operating, capable of looking over this part of Kenya, Dunn said, but if there's an increase in locusts in other parts of the country, we're going to need some assistance because we just don't know how big this problem is going to be. So I found that interesting.
Yeah.
So that was, and also in Pakistan, I believe, I'm going to try to find a article on that, because also in Pakistan, there is the locust swarm as well.
Yes, so anybody who has not, found Esdras, definitely look into it. The Apocrypha period is something that you want to look into. And the other big one that is my go-to scripture is goodness gracious, of course. It's the one I don't have here. Off the top of my head. And it's always the one.
Of course. I have another article about the locust swarms after you're done. Do you want me to go for that?
The Aryan Gospels of Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. But I have another article. Because also it's happening in Pakistan. And I think that that's notable. Because we have 2 swarms of locusts in 2 different geographical areas. Why? Okay. So, national emergency in Pakistan over desert locust attack. 7.3 billion Pakistani rupees allotted. This is from India.com. Okay. Amid farmers fearing damage to their crops because of locust attacks in 3 districts of Punjab, Chief Minister Amrinder Singh wrote a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging him to raise the issue with Pakistan for taking effective steps to check the pests from breeding there. Pakistan government has declared a national emergency coming under the attack of swarms of desert locusts which have wiped out crops in Sindh and are now entering Punjab. The decision was made at a recent meeting convened by Prime Minister Imran Khan, reports Dawn News. The meeting, attended by the federal ministers and senior officials of 4 provinces, also approved a national action plan, NAP, that requires a sum of 7.3 billion Pakistani rupees to overcome the crisis. Imran Khan directed the authorities concerned to take all necessary steps on an emergency basis to contain the locust outbreak in the country and prevent crop losses. The menace was first spotted in March 2019. The issue is troubling India's Punjab as well. Amid farmers fearing damage to their crops because of locust attacks in 3 districts of Punjab, Chief Minister Amrinder Singh wrote a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging him to raise the issue with Pakistan for taking effective steps to check the pests from breeding there. The CM warned that any failure to control the swarms of locusts could lead to serious implications and consequences for agricultural production in India, especially Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat, which will ultimately affect commodity prices and food security of the country. Locusts are short-horned grasshoppers with highly migratory habits and voracious feeding behavior. Their appearance in winter months is a new phenomenon. So I found that interesting. Because locusts, we are told are part of some of the plagues that are to come, in the future. So that's why I find it interesting to pay attention to. We have them in Africa, and now we have them in India and Pakistan. Because remember, Punjab is just a northern region of, India. So all they're saying there is that northern India and Pakistan is involved. And if they don't get it under control, that their foods are going to be potentially decimated. Besides the fact that they could potentially get coronavirus there, and
I
probably
could actually get some very, very inside information on that.
Okay. What do you have?
I can't do it right this second, but I can. Had I have known prior to, I could have done it. And it's not anything that I will talk about on air. I can't give away source on that.
Right.
But I know some pretty high people in that and related in that area that I can find out what's going on.
We should find out what's going on because, I mean, locust swarms and food security issues are a big deal. Like I said, they have a large population in India, a billion plus people, much like China. Farmers are already killing themselves. Let's not get it, twisted. They're already killing themselves. They're already committing suicide at massive rates. At least, I think 7 a day or more farmers in India are killing themselves. So with that being said, I think that it's something to take back because, number one, if these farmers keep getting affected now in the northern regions, it was southern regions basically due to government agreements and what they would get as subsidies and a lot of welfare type farming programs, right? But the northern being destroyed by actual new phenomenon, that's something that they didn't prepare for. I don't think anybody prepares for, all of our crops are going to be destroyed. But I think we should have, because last year in the spring, all of our crops were destroyed in Nebraska, in North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, everywhere was flooding, right? And we didn't prepare for that. We didn't prepare for the wildfires in California. We didn't prepare for the areas that were damaged in any other place that had a natural disaster, that we did not prepare for crop loss. And I think that with so many places compounding crop loss at this point, we need to start paying attention, because we're going to get to a point where they're going to start announcing that food is in shorter supply. You're going to have to pay more for it. It's going to cost more. We can't import this. We can't get that. A lot of our food is imported from China. How long are we going to keep importing food from them? Things of that nature that really concern me on how do we function if things just stop or, just disappear from the shelves.
Now, guys, one of the things that we have discovered as well is that they're actually recommending people in China that when they actually get this, to go to the traditional healers. Now, for those that don't understand traditional healing, they're talking about what we here in the West would call the folk healers, the holistic healers, the naturopaths, homeopaths. This is who they're telling them to go see.
Correct, because healing was more holistic then. It was done by the person and with the spirit, as well as with the body and herbs and things to heal. It wasn't just a strictly pharmaceutical, scientific only approach like we went over a couple weeks ago. How we started changing into that mindset and how the folk medicine ideas were dropped.
Alien.
Right, to drop off then to now use pharmaceuticals. So it's very interesting.
Right. And for anybody who missed those, you can go back and those have been the last 4 episodes previous to this one. Well, you have to go down quite a few because some of them are split up because it cut us off and we were just learning, and I'm new to the network and figuring all my stuff out, so bear with it. But,
yes, absolutely.
It's all there in the replays.
It is.
Anything that you hear in any replays that you didn't get it all, or you want repeated, or that didn't come out maybe in the replays that you can't quite hear or understand, don't be afraid to say something. We can recap.
Yeah, and we can definitely, let you know what information you wanted to understand. Absolutely. It's only
Now,
going to get better.
Before we have herb chat.
Herb
Okay.
chat.
We're going to talk just a minute here. These are reports from practitioners coming out of China, including the following report that I am going to read from Luminary Medicine. Okay?
Okay.
Tips that the doctors have for treating the disease. Coronavirus should be thought of as a disease of damp pestilence. The illness lingers and is difficult to fully disperse. It's different from wind, heat with dampness, wherein as soon as the dampness is resolved, the heat clears along with it and the patient can make a quick and full recovery. Dampness lingers and clings like oil mixed into flour. So when we're choosing a course of treatment, practitioners must be very careful not to mistake damp toxicity transforming into heat with heat toxicity with dampness. The herbs that are deployed for these two mechanisms are completely different. Coronavirus's main cause of disease is damp toxicity, not heat with dampness. In treating heat toxicity with dampness, the strategy is usually to clear heat, resolve toxins, and dispel the dampness. However, when treating a dampness toxicity that transforms into heat or retained dampness heat toxin, if you clear heat and resolve toxins using cold herbs too early, this will inevitably exuberate the dampness and lead to cold enveloping heat, which will have an adverse effect on the treatment outcome. So, in treating this disease, the focus should be on resolving turbidity with aroma, outbursting through the exterior and upbearing and downbearing the spleen and stomach. As dampness is resolved, depressed heat can disperse and toxicity will be unable to form. In this way, symptoms will gradually resolve. Now, the translation is a bit poor. Aromatics instead of aroma, possibly. As we're understanding, recommendation is to use herbs that warm the stomach and spleen and the center of the body. That's like our chai spices, hot peppers, cayenne. This is like Samuel Thompson's idea of warming the center and keeping the periphery open. In fact, his formula of lobelia,
yeah,
to keep pores open, and cayenne to warm the stomach, and bayberry bark to break up canker.
Good job, Peanut Gallery. Way to
or
save
what
the
they
day.
were calling turbidity and damp toxicity. That's heroic medicine, and it's a heroic disease. Notice all the reference to sepsis, not necessarily here, but in very severe cases that indicate bacteria in the bloodstream. Echinacea frostweed, calendula, all good for helping with that, and it's typical presentation where the virus turns to a bacterial respiratory infection. So, if you trust antivirals and antibacterials more than energetics, you want warm, spicy antivirals like Lomatium or Osha or Angelica. Now, for the self-advertising part, guys, I just made Valley Fire Cider. Okay, this is in very, very limited supply.
Yes.
It is going to be
Limited
available.
edition.
Yes, it is available for pre-order right now. If I do get enough pre-orders, I will make more.
You can pre-order through the website. You could scroll up to the donate, and then go to GIF in the tribute area and say GIF Fire Cider, so that we know that that would be your contribution to that. That is an easy way to do that.
Things that I need. I need quart amber mason jars. And I can always use herbs. Always. So those types of trades, always open for. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Because I think that this could be a way that we can get a larger community of it, you know, kind of sharing, you know, a sharing library, to get people what they need. Because right now, we kind of priced it out. A lot of people are charging, you know, expensive. You can make it yourself, too.
Now, mine is very special, though.
It is. And we will tell you why it is here in a moment.
Yes. I call mine actually Valley Fire Cider. And it is jam-packed with stuff. Now, this is an incredibly, incredibly hot cider. Which, from what they're saying, with this virus running around is exactly what we need. Because it's also got those couple of cold herbs in there that are also going to help. And then you can also transition over into, say, Echinacea, Golden Seal, the Calendula, these types of things for the colder part of this, but you need to start hot. Even if you just want to use it as a shield before protectant, not a bad idea. So, this stuff is a... Oh, crap. Man, I'm always misplacing my book.
Amber mason jars are used in dark color or blue mason jars. Just kind of anything but clear. Help keep the potency of whatever herbs you're using for tincture or storage or even for canning purposes. So it's just a way to keep your product longer, and keep your treasures longer. Because when you're making tinctures and, you know, decoctions and other, you know, herbal remedies, you want them to last as long as possible. And the amber or dark colors do that. That's why you see a lot of the liquid tinctures and herbs come in dark amber bottles. Or, you know, just oils themselves come in dark amber bottles because, you know, that protects the plant, you know, essence inside of here.
Right.
Which
Now,
this is rosemary. This is lovely.
This has got onion. It's got garlic. It's got jalapeno. It's got lemon. It's got ginger. It's got horseradish. It's got turmeric. It's got cayenne. It's got rosemary. It's got elderberry. It's got osha root. It's got cinnamon stick. It's got honey. It's got apple cider with mother vinegar and blackberry brandy. So it's very, very hot. Now it's in its aging process, which takes approximately 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm telling people, It's very limited amount, so please get your pre-orders in now, because I need to know, how quick it's going.
Right.
And then I also have the Valley syrup. The
Oh,
Elder
that's
Valley syrup.
that's lovely, BJ, that you let everybody use your herbs. I would make all the things if I had herbs like that, or access to all the herbs.
Me too.
Right? I mean, I try to grow as much as I can, or I buy them. Spice is what you want, though, with this. You want hot herbs, and we talked about why the hot herbs are going to help, because what we know with these symptoms, right, are that it turns into severe pneumonia, right, and it starts filling up the lungs with the fluid. Well, if the fluid's infected, though, you're going to have to stop the infection before the fluid. Well, usually when you catch pneumonia, it's usually kind of the other way around, where you get sick, you get the fluid, you get infection, you treat infection, the infection goes away, fluid goes away, and you return to normal. Well, the coronavirus is a little different in that if you don't kill the infection and the fluid, they're both going to catch up to you, because it's not going to stop, because if the fluid is infected instead of the infection causing the fluid.
Well, you do listen to me sometime.
I do. Well, and you just have to think about pneumonia too. Like, you have to remind yourself that a few years ago, my mother almost died from pneumonia.
Right?
So,
now, the syrup is Elder Valley syrup. It is elderberry, water, spring water, natural spring water from a good spring down here. So it's got tons of minerals and things that you won't find anywhere else. It's got ginger root, turmeric, cinnamon, lemon, and fenugreek. And honey, of course. So, this is an extremely limited amount. If I get enough people that want some, I'll make more. I have the potential to be able to make this pretty much year-round. Oh, and this also has the OSHA root in it.
yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes it a little different.
What makes this so different and what makes this so special is the OSHA root. I'm going to tell you about the OSHA root. Now, we talked about it on Friday on Clarity After Dark, but a lot of you weren't with us then, so we're going to discuss it again now.
Yeah, your Thailand hot peppers would work. Any
Yes, they
peppers would work. I mean...
Any pepper works, the ones that are in season, or that you can get your hands on. Just look up what the benefits, if you don't know them offhand, just look up the benefits of that so that you know what you're putting in. Now, the OSHA root is often known as bear root or life root. Also locally here known as Colorado cough root. It's a Native American herb from the parsley family, and it grows wild only in the southern Rocky Mountain ranges and really only around a very small valley, the San Luis Valley. OSHA root is often used for sore throats, loosening of phlegm, and the common cold. Great for boiling into tea. Used by ethnic groups in northern Mexico for the treatment of diabetes, tuberculosis, stomach aches, diarrhea, and ritual healing ceremonies. All of Mexico uses OSHA root for anti-ulcer remedies. Science does back this gastroprotective activity of LP organic extract used by the ethnomedicine in the testing of rats. for life roots, or in the testing of rat for life root. I hate this word.
Pharmacological.
Thank you. Uses of Mexican folk medicine used in the San Luis Valley of Colorado, found through interviews of Hispanic families within the valley, are being investigated further at the University of Colorado School of Pharmacy. In 2011, there was a study that showed that bear root does show sedative and spasmolytic properties. Native Americans, through collective knowledge, there is a man, 56 years old, that has been using bear root his whole life and has spoken to many medicine men and herbologists. And it helps him by dilating the bronchial tubes and lungs and allowing the blood to carry more oxygen. It also helps him by dislodging phlegm to expel it. And he finds it great for chronic allergies and sinus conditions. It's also used in Hispanic communities in New Mexico, the southwestern United States, and Native Americans use it in treatment for respiratory infections and conditions of digestive tract and heart conditions. Life root is anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. It's great for viral infection of throat, sinuses, and cold and flu. It's an amazing immune system booster, helping to alleviate breathing difficulties and for treatment of digestive issues in conditions with arthritis pain, as well as carpal tunnel syndrome. We know it here as OSHA, or Colorado cough root, antibacterial and antiviral herb. It soothes sore throats, treats cough, and relieves the inflammation of bronchial tubes. Can promote sweating to help break the non-breakable fever. It may relax the muscle tissue and prevent any invading bacteria or virus from spreading. OSHA root has a long history in traditional Native American medicine for long-term inflammation, making it useful for arthritis and CTS. Bear root has also been used in traditional folk medicine for painful conditions. Life root does act as a mild anesthetic, often prescribed to replace painkiller drugs. Especially great for the body and muscle aches, headaches, toothaches, and menstrual cramping. Also, Colorado cough root is known to treat upset stomachs, cramps, stomach ulcers, as well as indigestion. It is a bitter herb, so it soothes digestion but stimulates the appetite. OSHA root has an effect on lymphocytes, very great for the immune system and the type of white blood cells designed to fight off disease and illness. A 2016 study showed life root to have immunoprotective effects against oxidative damages on human peripheral blood lymphocytes. Other research shows bear root can have immune boosting abilities in treatment of acute promyelocytic leukemia, a subtype of acute myeloid leukemia, or white blood cell cancer. Other key folk medicine health benefits are treating heart troubles, tuberculosis, hemorrhages, anemia, allergies, emphysema, pneumonia, earaches, and congestion. It's also believed to be an effective anticonvulsant. No known dangerous side effects are known with life root when it's used in its recommended dosings. You shouldn't do more than 2 weeks on and have at least 2 weeks off. It can build up in liver and kidney and cause toxicity. Now, drinking more than 6 cups of OSHA root tea a day, more than 6 cups a day, has been shown to cause insomnia, diarrhea, appetite loss, headaches, dizziness, and vomiting. Okay, too much of a good thing ain't a good thing, people. We know that. So don't be dumb. Bare root has high oxytocin amounts, thus pain relief. Due to this, we should not give to children under 6, pregnant or breastfeeding ladies. Osha root can cause uterine contractions that can result in miscarriages. Life root seeds, leaves, and roots are used to season beans, meats, and chilies. Boiled osha leaves are used in soups and casseroles or hot dishes, as Scarlett calls them. And we even eat them raw in wild salads or regular salads. Many believe longevity in medicine is questionable because bare root cultivation is only in the specific region of the mountains in Colorado, especially San Luis Valley mountain ranges. American Botanical Council is looking into the details of turning OSHA to an economic crop for Wyoming growers. That can be a huge leap for this traditional respiratory healer, so that it gets the same acknowledgement per se as maybe echinacea. It could also have a very devastating effect on the herb.
Ooh. Ooh.
At the same time, and when we start looking at mass producing something that is only produced in one area of the world, it becomes a little questionable.
There is one company that seems to be a good place called Taos Herb Company. They make sure that it is, ethically sourced and wild crafted. So there is people who are trying to protect the integrity.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So, both of my items carry OSHA root that was hand picked by, actually not myself this time, but very, very, very close friend of mine, and she did a trade of OSHA root for Elder Valley syrup, and thus allowing me to be able to provide this for everyone. She actually gave me quite a lot of OSHA root.
Right.
I actually probably have enough OSHA root to get me through till fall harvest.
Right, again. Yeah. That's awesome.
Which is super freaking exciting. Now, I use jalapenos. The reason for this is because, and this is part of Herb Chat, but this is kind of one of these herbs. We don't necessarily always think of jalapeno as an herb. We also do not think of jalapeno on a homeopathic or a naturopathic or a well-being. We also don't think of all of the health benefits that it brings to us. So we're going to discuss this, because we have a couple myths with jalapenos too that I want to disperse, because you hear a lot of people, right? And you know it because you hear it, and you may even use it yourself, Scarlett. I think I have even heard you say it a time or two, and I don't think I've really ever corrected you about it, but people be like, oh, I don't eat spicy stuff because I have an ulcer, or oh, I don't eat spicy stuff because it makes my stomach upset, or oh, I don't eat spicy stuff because I get heartburn.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this a little bit. Jalapenos are full of vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin A, vitamin K, folate, magnesium, and fiber. They boost metabolism. They can help you actually lose weight. They have a capsaicin, which has strong anti-cancer properties. and capabilities of killing over 40 types of cancer cells without harming normal cells. It stops growth and division of cancer cells and slows forming of new blood cells around cancer cells. It prevents cancer from spreading to other parts of the body. It soothes pain, temporarily blocking your pain receptors. Oh my gosh, do you know that I literally just tried to swipe up on my notebook?
Stop, Red. Stop.
I did.
That's great. Technology has us so jaded, y'all, that you're even trying to swipe the notebook, like. It's not how it works, Red.
With the touch of my finger.
Right. That's not how it works. Like the old ladies in that commercial. It's not how this works. Not how it works.
That's not how any of this works.
Exactly.
So, when used in lotions, it can relieve pain and chronic.
Shingles, huh? Interesting.
Okay, good. I was wondering if nobody was talking in the chat, guys. I had not been seeing you guys talk in the chat. I am so freaking sorry. The chat had not been showing up, and I had to refresh the page. So now I see that you all have been talking.
Yes.
I was wondering why I was so quiet.
Right?
I missed so much. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Rod.
Yes, it is going to be very needed this year, BJ, Bonnie.
Yeah. It is going to be needed. I mean, there's...
Yes, for shingles, too. Yes, Bonnie, yes. So, when used in lotions, it can relieve pain and chronic muscle and joint pain. As a nasal spray, now this sounds crazy, okay, I understand that, but as a nasal spray, it can relieve migraine pain.
Oh.
Jalapenos
I
can
could
help
kind of see
stomach
that,
ulcers.
though.
Okay, low blood flow to the stomach. It can help increase low blood flow to the stomach. By reducing stomach inflammation in people with H. pylori, by killing it off, and it can reduce the stomach damage by overuse of NSAID pain relievers and alcohol, and potentially able to stop ulcers before they even begin. Research suggests that capsaicin can prevent and or cure food poisoning and other types of infections such as strep throat, bacterial tooth decay, and even chlamydia. Jalapeno has strong antimicrobial properties, and it's good for heart and can help lower cholesterol and lipid levels, and this has been proven in animals.
That's interesting.
Okay, so that's why I have chosen to use
Jalapeno.
jalapeno. Now, back on the OSHA for a moment, guys. The root, which is what we use for the syrups and the fire ciders, anything like that. So the root is not harvested until fall. But in fall, I am personally going this year to harvest myself. Anyone wanting any of that, please, between now and then, let me know. Let me know how much you're looking to get. And again, by donation or trade, and we can work it out. Pre-orders are important.
Yeah. That's true. It gives you an idea of what you need to get.
Right, and it gives me an idea of how many people are actually interested. And, you know,
it's a great way to try some wild-crafted herbs.
Because if people aren't interested, that's fine.
Any other place.
You know, I have no problem with that whatsoever. but this gives me an idea if people are interested and what they're interested in, and this way I don't waste my time making a whole bunch of stuff, or wasting anything. I don't want to waste anything. I'm not a waster. That's part of the way I live. We don't waste. What is going on with my stuff?
I don't know.
Yes, prevents stomach cancer. Okay, listen, Bonnie, the syrup and the cider is going to be sent in whatever amber bottles I have available. If I can always use donations of dropper bottles, yes, I do send them. Most of my amber bottles that I do have available are in dropper bottles. Some have droppers, some don't. Unfortunately, I cannot afford to just go buy a whole bunch of stuff because I don't charge for what I'm doing. This is just me trying to get this out there to help people. I'm in this to help people. I'm not in this for the money. And I'm not a rich person. I wish that I was. If I was, I would heal the world. Believe it. I would have this in everyone's home. If I could absolutely 100% do this up to standard and everything, I would. But this is just like going to see your local folk healer, medicine woman, whatever you want to call us. And so what I have available is what I will send. I do, however, have a scale. So the vinegar or cider is extremely hot and extremely powerful. I'm going to be sending those out in 1 ounce amount. And the syrup is going out in 6 ounce amounts. Yes, if you want to donate bottles, my love, absolutely. I love repurposed things. I gave you the P.O. box that we accept donations at. You can just address it to Red. You don't even have to put a last name, and you can just use the P.O. box there. Small town, everyone knows me. Trust it. You could actually even not send it to the P.O. box and send it directly to the post office in my town and just mark it red, and I will still get it.
That's true.
So, yes, if you want to donate bottles, my love, I will absolutely love you, and I will gladly send you syrup and cider. I will gladly fill a bottle of each for you and mail that back your way. The only thing I ask is that they're, clean. But yes, they will be measured properly and sent out that way. and I do this, like I said, I'm not in it for the money. This isn't about the money. That is one of the ways that we told you to be leery and learn folk from fake. You know, if they're all about that money, they're doing something wrong. They need to be all about you, your wellness, and overall on every level. You know, when I make this, it's not just that I make it. It was made because I do have all my certifications and I do incorporate all these things when I do these things. So this is Reiki infused with universal life force energy. It is Kundalini Reiki infused with the earth energy. It is sealed with the symbols for protection from all different Reiki symbols for protection. And it was done while I played the perfect C note, G and H, for perfect harmony and vibration, healing, health, wellness, overall goodness, and respiratory wellness. And as well as prayer was put into it, and the Lord guided my hand in what was to be included. I believe that always, and without Him, I know nothing. He's given me all of this knowledge, and He has provided all of these things for me to be able to create these things for you all. And all I'm asking is that you help me keep giving His goodness back out to His people in His mixed ways that will help you all beneficially.
Right on, Red.
Listen, Bonnie, I'm off grid, honey. I am completely off grid. So we do not have running water. We have created our own
Gravity fed system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I should probably smoke. I don't think I have enough THC in my bloodstream.
Right? Can't think.
Yes, we have created our own gravity fed system. We haven't actually gotten to use it the way that we want to use it yet. That comes to the spring. So we're super stoked about trying it.
That'll be great.
And we love donations of all kinds. Even if you want to donate to Queen Tara or the herd, or, you know, anything for the homestead, we love all donations. So you can feel free to send anything you wish to donate that way. Yes, it would be, Bonnie. It would be. But unfortunately, they don't. And, you know, I am in service because that is where the Lord has placed me. And again, I do a lot of energy work, but I don't take credit for that. I'm just the conduit. Right. The Lord gives me these things. He's led me to these paths. I know that a lot don't believe that some of these things are of a godly nature, and I argue that because Jesus did every one of these things, and He said that we can be and are to be just like Him. He was our brother. We were supposed to learn what God wanted us to be through His showing, and we made Him a martyr, and that unfortunately I don't think was really the correct thing, but in the long run it doesn't matter, but Bonnie, I do homestead, and I wish I had lived in a house that was built in 1885,
Right.
but my house is going to be built in 2020,
Better be. Peanut gallery.
and I'm the first person to live in it ever. Frugal doesn't begin to describe us here, Bonnie. We have developed our own gravity-fed water system, and we haul our water in. We just got solar within the last month, so that's brought us up in the electricity world. But until then, we didn't have it other than our generator on the RV. And we are building the house, and we are doing a straw bale stucco and repurposed like barnwood and tin home. And it's also going to be a barn for the animals on the other side of the wall. Yeah, until you have to repair things. I hear ya.
Yeah, your grandfather built the fireplace. I mean, yeah, that's rough. I mean, it's not like you're
Right.
the stonemason or figured it out, or, you know what I mean? Not that you can't, but...
Now, see, I'm lucky. I'm lucky because my husband is a stone.
Yeah, but remember what we just read in Esdras? The builders ain't gonna have nothing. So, I don't know. Sketch.
Hey, but where I live, dude, this sand and stuff that we have here, we can make clay bricks from.
Right. That's true, though.
And we don't need a whole bunch of, we can make Hebrew bricks right out of what we have in our yard.
That's true.
And we were gonna, but then we decided not to, and to do this
The stucco hay
well,
bales.
you know, I'm filling in the other people, but we went back and forth on a couple of things, and eventually the house is going to be cordwood, but this first one that we're going to do, which is really kind of almost more a temporary type of a deal, because we plan on taking it down kind of like section by section to work on it and replace it with the cordwood.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes, we will, Bonnie, but it's not going to be for us, actually. It's going to be for the animals. Because I assume that you're a newer listener. So I have a goat dairy herd. Some are papered, registered, and amazing. And some aren't registered or papered, but still freaking amazing. And I have 30 goats right now in my herd. And I have about 12 that are... No, wait. Am I over-exaggerating, Alicia? Am I over-exaggerating, Scarlett?
Let's see. Well, 12, yeah, I'd say about 12 would be like you were about to say, like, breeding girls.
No, I have 12 pregnant girls. I know that for sure.
Right. What were you saying? What was your
But I
question?
think I have 30 goats.
Maybe. Close to. At least 25.
Yeah. I have so many goats that it's hard to keep the numbers of them.
True.
Let's just be for real right now.
Well,
We're
that's
beyond
'cause
numbers.
people just drop off their
I didn't do
goats.
this on purpose,
Yeah.
Bonnie. Okay,
And
because there is an
listeners,
invisible
because
sign.
people are irresponsible goat owners.
There is an invisible sign, Bonnie. It is invisible to me. It is invisible to my family. But apparently the Lord has put it out there for everyone else to see.
Red's Animal Sanctuary. Yes, Red does. Pam, that's true.
I do make soap, cheese, and paint from my goat's milk, Pam. I do.
This is true. But it
yes,
says
I am
Red's
working with about
goat,
500 gallons
Red's
of
Animal Sanctuary.
yes, Red's Animal Sanctuary. It does say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because People just leave their animals. We even had people leave ducks at our front gate. Remember that? Remember that, Scarlett?
I do.
Ducks at our front gate. Okay. We have had people give us goats, sheep, more goats, dogs, cats,
Chickens.
ducks, chickens.
Dogs. Did we say dogs?
Yeah, we did say dogs and cats.
It's true.
Sometimes they come alone. Sometimes they come in groups. Sometimes people that you've known for a long time that you didn't even know had goats just suddenly are like, come pick up 3 goats that they've been hiding in